facing a new audience, I think I'm going to start with my signature poem that I usually use to introduce myself. And I'm going to read it from my book, The Homing Poems. And if I can find it, I forgot to, actually, my wife told me to mark all the poems I was going to read, but I didn't have time. Oh, yes, and here it is. It's called an open mic. The marketplace is crowded and life exhales but one poetic line. Words go tumbling over words, verse climbing over verse, and you get but 2 thin minutes to diagnose and cure the ills of the universe, plus dissect your soul and hang it out for everyone to see the bloody mess. 2 minutes to steal a pearl into the eyes before you. 2 minutes to shove your metaphor into the mouth, gaping at you, and reach all the way down into the stomach and turn it inside out. 2 minutes on the cross. 2 minutes on the soapbox. 2 minutes to get your SOS across an ocean of suffocating cliches. 2 minutes on the rack. 2 minutes on the butcher block. 2 minutes on the altar where your heart is torn out and tossed into the shredding machine for the lack of sacrificial fire on the cool foreheads fencing you in. 2 minutes to strip off your clown costume and play a naked violin standing on the ceiling. 2 minutes to douse yourself with words and look for matches. 2 minutes in the dock and 2 minutes on the judge's bench. 2 minutes to give eternity wrapped inside a hyperbole. But 2 minutes can also be the age of the universe if you have a well-honed secret tucked away in the pocket of your verse, and if your frantic meter doesn't cause it to sing before you reach a sunny shore of applause, hanging on to the 2 minutes refrain, just 2 minutes more, please, and then you can shoo me into nevermore. I don't know if you have open mic afterwards, no? And, well, I usually perform at open mic sessions, so this is an unusual occasion, and I'm very thankful for this invitation.
We're glad to have you here.
And, well, you know, this young lady was talking about, I'm sorry, I forgot her name, about dying and age and all this, and oh gee, this is something I should be writing. No, I don't. I like to go back and in my childhood or back in my life, any time in my life, and relive it again, you know, and because that is me, you know, and this is eternity. What we experience now, you know, is salvation is right now, not when you die. When you die, there is nothing, but now is, you know, you can experience it if you have the awareness of the existence, you know, on the holy ground of the present, you know, in this very present moment. And here is one poem that goes back, you know, quite a ways, and it's one of my formative experiences was the war. A ripening photo of 1944. Polka dots hop around her lithe, laid-back figure in light summer profusion, and do not speak of machine gun fire yet. The wooden garden chaise rocks gently in the uneasy arms of 1944, but then we didn't feel it. We didn't know she'd never marry my uncle, my mother's beloved little brother, and a lieutenant. We didn't know this would be one of the last pictures my father would ever take. After the war, there was too much smoke, and the camera was never crawled out from under the rubble. The next photo in the album was taken of me by a friend a few years later, and it shows a cigarette between my lazy fingers. But there's none of that young woman after the war. She lost her polka dots and wrapped herself in black, standing far away. Sometimes I fly off in a wooden chaise to a secret garden and let the bare polka dots of the summer play with me, where no cameras are allowed. It's a scene that has kind of impressed itself in my mind, and now in 1944, in September or maybe August, and oh, well, I have a really crazy one here. Maybe I'll just do this now. The midnight trolley. And on the midnight trolley, the students play at being live cadavers. The game pierced through their lips. One takes over the controls and drives the car backwards to the mordant cheers of unveiled teeth. A dance of macabre of steel and bone, a wheel cutting open the skin of the boulevard. Bull's blood lipstick painted on lipless jaws and pelvis bones panting for blood. Rigor mortis penetrates the eyes as dull gleam of the grim reaper's sighs perforates noses and brows. Death is the stillborn password passed around in an empty urn to be tasted by dead groggy grins. The trolley plows through a live cemetery on the prowl for more cadavers to be resurrected from the living. Well, that's an impression, unfortunately, in a big city in Europe after midnight, and you see young people whacked out, and decked out in all these crazy, morbid, decorations, and acting out, and jumping up and down, and there goes the trolley without, paying attention to it, but it seems like they are driving the trolley. And I have my latest book. It just came out last year, and it's a very modest little book. And in fact, what I'm holding up is a virtual book, not the. It's a printout of an e-book, and so at least I have something to hold in my hand, and because it would be hard to read from a computer screen here, and then besides I can hand this out to friends, and let me. Oh, well, okay, here is a nice poem. It's not too offensive. My dream house. We build a home and keep working on it all through life. to have a place in which to die, for anywhere else death would not be true, only a disappearance. The colors of the day perish with the breeze, and so does the flavor of handshakes and hugs, whether sweet or sour. But man must go out carrying the mask of death, must have a wall where to hang the finished picture, the collage of a life. But it's more like a group photo without faces, left at a flea market in the sticking drawer of a chest. When it comes to a mislaid life, a disappearance deprived of the parting kiss of the living house. Death demands the embrace of walls papered with snapshots, pictures, bills, and death certificates. We must build that house before it can be demolished.
Thank you.